All right, so we want to teach you a little bit more today. Congrats, guys. You guys are knowledgeable now. You're picking things up fast. I'm seeing your creations, and you're already a step ahead of me. Some of you, 3 steps ahead of me. That's good. That's good. Your curiosity is being fruitful, and that's excellent. So today we're going to go over a few different elements, and this is going to be a flash one. I'm hoping not to take too long. So we're going to go over today spinners. So spinners is this button, fourth from the top right here. You can add them anywhere on the table. And with this sample table from the first video, if you haven't seen it yet, go see the first ramp tutorial video. As a link in the description for this sample table. I already have it coded to create spinner sounds up to 4 spinners. No, 3 spinners. If you add a 4th one, a little bit of tiny editing needed. I just put 2 on the table to show you. There we go. We got 2 spinners. And if the ball goes in contact with one of them, there you go. The other one, you can hear the spinner spin. But these are non-textured spinners. So the first thing you want to do is decide on the right hand side if you want the bracket or not. So I'm going to remove the check mark for the bracket so you can see what it looks like now. So these are good as well without the brackets. You don't necessarily need a bracket depending on where you're putting the spinners. Sometimes the brackets get in the way and they can be physically collidable, especially if the spinner is going underneath a ramp and you have very narrow spacing. You don't want to have that bracket, so that's how you remove the bracket. Also, you could use a 3D model bracket if you want a different shaped bracket. So it's good to turn that one off when you don't want to have it. Then you can select material. Usually most default ones are metal. So these are the metallic looking spinners. There you go. Ready to go. See, they're spinning, they're shiny, they're metal. That's it. That's very simple. But let's say you wanted to personalize a spinner. Well, in this video, there's a link in the description where I've zipped up 4 folders for you. There's going to be one called spinner. This here is the default image for a spinner. Okay, you need a little bit of knowledge in photo editing. I have a tutorial on how to use my preferred editor of choice, but if you use Photoshop or whatever it is, I use a free online one called Pixlr. But you need to be able to edit images, and this is basically the blueprint. So I'll explain what it is. The first yellow square on the top is your spinner upright, the one that's facing you. And then you have to flip it upside down and from left to right to make a mirror image on the bottom for the other side of the spinner. That's if when it spins, you want to be able to read that word constantly. This white strip on the right hand side is all around the plastic of the spinner. So my spinner is yellow on the faces, but white around the plastic. And this metallic grayish looking thing is that little tiny needle that holds the spinner on both sides. That's the texture. So if you edit this texture, you can change it to whatever you want with a photo editor. But I'm just going to give you this one as an example. And what you want to do is go to tables, the table button on top, and then click on Image Manager, click on Import, and we're going to go to the one that says Spinners and import that image, spinner. So we're going to click on one of the spinners, and image is called spinner, so we're going to find one to call spinner in there. Boom. And the material, we're going to change it to plastic. And we can put the bracket on for that one. Why not? So there, as you can see, we got that spinner there. And when it spins, you can see that white edge on it. That's the whites that you saw on the right, and those little arms on each side are metallic. But that bracket, you can't change the color of the bracket. It's always going to be that metal look no matter what. So without the bracket, there it is. Here, I'll even make the spinner bigger. Oh yeah. So on the right hand side, if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see where it says length. This is how far you want this, how wide do you want the spinner to be. So if the gap opening is 100 wide, you can go 100. But just keep in mind that those needles that on each side of the spinner is going to stick out a little bit longer than that 100. Okay, 100 is that rectangle. And part of the spinner, look, actually I think it's good with the needles as well. Here's one good way of doing it. I'll take a ramp, put it right where the spinner is, and bottom width 100, just so we can measure. So yeah, it's the same width as a 100 width ramp. So if I go here and look, see the needles are sticking out a little bit. So the needles do like an S shape, right? So the first part that's attached to it, that's the width of your spinner. But the top part of the S will be sticking out. But those are usually stuck in walls or whatever, so keep that in mind when you're doing that. I'm just going to delete the ramp for now. If you want to rotate your spinner, rotate the angle, you can go, say, rotation 20. Remember, when you're changing an angle, 0 is north, and you go clockwise as you go positive. So 90 degrees is at 3 o'clock, 180 degrees is at 6 o'clock, so on and so forth. So, and if you want to go the opposite way, you can go negative numbers as well. So that's how you rotate something. All right, that spinner's done. Next thing I wanted to cover with you is targets. So you can press on the target button over here and add one on the table like this. And by default, you look on the right hand side, there's going to be a drop down menu. This drop down menu, it's set to drop target simple. That's the first one. It's actually the second one in the list for some reason. So when you press play, there it is. You got a drop target on the table. Boom. And when you hit it, it drops and it stays dropped. Doesn't make any noises because you have to code it to do that, okay? So now these targets, if I wanted to, I could texture them. And I have here what's called drop target textures and then drop target simple. These are all different colors I've made for these because there's 2 different types. And then there's also hit targets. Only made 5 of these. You already have a red one in the example table already, but you can go ahead and import all those images as well. So we'll go ahead and do that right now. Image manager, import, desktop, D for drop target. Import all these, and they're named drop target and the color. So these, I believe, you go to image, drop target. Now I'm not sure if this one's a simple one or not. It says simple, but hold on. Drop target, blue baby. There we go. So that works. Let's make these targets bigger so we can look at them better. So down here in the corner, on the right-hand side of the values for these targets, you can scale it X, Y, and Z. All right, Z is the height, and then width and depth is these numbers. The orientation is the rotation, just like we did with the spinners. All right. So let's go, we're going to make them 50, 50, 50. So they're not too big, but easier to see right now. So you got 2 drop targets right there. All right. Oh, I forgot to set the material to plastic. That's why the target in the middle was pink. There, now it's blue with a yellow target. So that's your first drop target. Let's make this one as well plastic. And let's go table. Oh wait, no, the image drop target. So I go D, scroll down through all the D's till you get to drop target. And you get all of these other ones, green, teal, green, olive. Let's try green olive. It's like an army green. There you go. So you got 2 drop targets there. Now, if you were to copy and paste one of these, and you wanted a different type of target, you go to the drop-down menu here. We'll go with the first one, drop target beveled. Click play, see what happens. Same thing, but it has that rib at the top. It's more pronounced. These are more classic looking, right? The other ones are more rectangular looking, but they're painted. Like if you look at the image, the textures that I've created for these, see these dark shadowy parts create the bevel look. So even if they're rectangular, they'll look beveled. But here's the thing. If I wanted to edit that and have it as full color, what I could do is just go ahead and open a photo editor, open my picture here. This is the image for my target, and if I wanted to, I could make the whole picture green here. Boom, like this. Now we have, I'm just going to put this flat green. Drop target flat green desktop save. This is my photo editor I'm using right now. It doesn't matter, you don't have to do this. I'm just trying to show you an example of the differences. So if I were to change this one over here, or both of these actually, so table image manager, import that flat looking one right here, and both of these become that drop target flat. Where is it? Flat green. Now you'll see they look more square. They don't have that bevel in them anymore, and the other one sticks out more. So those are the difference in drop targets. But you have other kinds of targets as well, and those are the rest of them. So you got, oh wait, these are the images. Sorry, drop target. So over here you got the first 3 are drop targets. Then you have one called simple flat. Now simple flat, I'm just going to copy, Control C, Control V. Turn this one into a simple flat drop target. These are the really skinny targets. Those require these images. I call them drop skinny. Drop skinny, they have variable colors. So we're going to go to table, image manager, import, and we're going to go to DT, where is it? DT simple, select all these images, open. Now that's imported in. So now we're going to go to DT skinny, or it's drop skinny, and we're going to try red. And look at that. That's the other type of drop target that you can have. They kind of look like a regular hit target, but they drop, right? Boom. And the only reason they're not dropping all the way is because I made them twice the size what they're supposed to right now. And you can code them to go all the way, so don't worry about that. All right. So those are all the drop targets. There's more. Control C, Control V, gonna go over here. We're gonna go into hit targets. Hit target rectangular. If I were to use the texture that I had before, it won't work. As you can see, it's all scrambled. The one you want to use is called targets. Table, image manager, T. This is the one here. Target 1, red. And that's the only one that's in your example table right now. We're going to go ahead and import the other ones I've created that you can find the link in the description. In that one zip, 4 folders. Go ahead and import all those images if you haven't done that already. And the one that's called targets, T. targets right here. So I'm gonna select everything but the red one, import that. All right, so we want this target to be target blue. And look, ta-da! And what's nice about this though is that I can go Control C, Control V, Control V again, Control V again, Control V again, and now this texture is good for every other type of target. So I can click on this one, and I can go rectangle fat for this one, hit target round for this one, hit target slim for that one. Hit target square fat. There we go. Anyways, these are all, you can just try them all out. See, the texture fits for all of these. So you can choose the color that you want. And if you can see off the table to the left, I already included a red one. So if you were in a hurry, you could just copy paste that one that I had, which is right on, if you zoom out right here on the left hand side, you can just unlock it, Control C, Control V, bring it onto the table. It's already textured with the red, so you got a red target right there. So those are all the targets, and then the spinners. Spinner, one more thing I wanted to do is show you that if you wanted to add more than 3 spinners, you wanted to add 4, let's say. Control C, Control V, Control V again. So if I were to spin all of those spinners right now, one of them will not make a sound. Use the ball control right now and go, that one works, that one works, that one works, but the 4th one I added, no sounds. I'll show you how easy it is to fix that. So you can add as many spinners as you want. You're going to click on this button that looks like a piece of paper. It's the toggle script editor. And you're going to go all the way to the bottom. Scroll all the way to the very, very bottom. The very last thing that's there is called spinners. And each spinner requires 3 lines. So this one's spinner 1, this one is spinner 2, this one is spinner 3. So it's the exact same lines. All you can do is select a group of those lines, Control C, click at the end of the sub, press enter, Control V, and then just change the name. Where it says spinner 3, it's going to be spinner 4. This one's spinner 4, or whatever you name that spinner, because you can change the name of all these items. Just make sure that names is reflective in the script. So now I put spinner 4 because I know if I look at the top here, it says spinner 4. Because each time you add a spinner, it's going to copy the name it has and add a number every time you copy paste it. So anyways, so now if I were to test, that spinner is now going to work perfectly. This one works, that one works, this one works, and ta-da! We got a working spinner! And these are drop targets up here. Boom, 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 boom. These are just hit targets. They don't make any sounds. That has to be scripted. Okay. Another thing I want to show you is the button called Kicker. Insert Kicker. I already have 2 kickers coded in the script. So if you add a kicker, it will place a hole on the table and it will shoot the ball out upwards, because I got it set to 0 degrees. And remember how I said every time you rotate something, it starts at 0, which is north. Then like 90 degrees is on like clockwise. It always goes clockwise, right? So let's say you see that pink hole that's right there. We're gonna hit the ball in there. As soon as it goes in, it shoots out. Boom. See, it makes the noise. It makes the noise of going in and of kicking it. So if you, again, we're gonna go all the way to the script, and each kicker requires all these lines. So this is one kicker. So there's the kicker in. So when you hit into the hole, it takes these 5 lines. All right. And when it kicks the kicker out, it takes these lines right here. That's one kicker. And right this section right here where it says 0 and 50, okay, this is the only things you need to change. So if you wanted it to go to the right, like I said, change this 0 to a 90. So that's your angle. 50 is the strength of how hard you kick the ball. So if I only wanted to hit it just a little bit, we'll leave it at 50 now so you can see what it is before I change it. All right. Put it in, it's going to go towards the right. Boom, like that. 50 strength. So, go back to the script, and we're going to change it from 50 to 5. That's barely any strength at all. I'm going to show you again. See? That's all it is. And so if you wanted to add more than 2 kickers and change the angle, this is where you would copy them in. So you can copy paste. Like if I wanted to add a 3rd kicker, I'd copy this whole section, Control C, go at the end of the sub, press Enter, Control V. So you got all these lines and duplicates right there, right? I'll make an extra space. Oh. Enter there. Okay, so where it says everywhere it says kicker 2, I'm going to change it to a 3. Every single spot. So here 3, there 3, there 3. Oh, make sure you don't remove the dots. So 3, 3, 3, 3, 3 right here. That's it. That's every one of those. There you go. Now we're ready to add a 3rd kicker. But just for fun, I'm gonna make a kick. I'm gonna put the kickers feeding to each other. Why not? Okay. So I'm gonna have the first kicker shoot to the right and droop down, and then the second kicker I'm gonna have it shoot straight left. So the second kicker to go left. Remember, 180 is here, so 275 would be the other side. So 275. To go straight across, and I'm gonna put the strength at 20. That's fine. And then the 3rd one, I want it to go up and to the right a little bit, so that's 45 degrees. So we're gonna go 45 degrees for the first one, and since it's going up the slope, I think I'll leave it at 50. All right, so 3 kickers. So the first one is going to go down and to the left. Control C, Control V. Going to go here. This one's going to shoot straight across. And that one's going to go up here. So I'm just going to put it in the top kicker. See what happens. I might not be aligned, just so you know. I might not be all aligned. But if I am... see, I wasn't aligned. So I just need to move it to the right a little bit more. That's fine. I can move it right there. Let's see what happens now. Should be interesting. And boom, boom. Oh, it missed it. So 45 degrees was more. So I'd have to move this one more like right there. Boom. So it would be a continuous loop, basically, is what I'm trying to show you. Start here, there. Hands free. There you go. So it's just going to keep going and going until I stop it, obviously. So you can have a lot of fun with kickers, all right? You can actually program them to not make any noise. So it could be moving in the background silently if you wanted to. If that is the case in the script where it says play sound at, you just remove that line. Okay, so this the first part, like there's 2 paragraphs, right? There's the sound it makes when it goes into the kicker. You could just remove that. Let's say I deleted that line. Boom. I deleted that line, and I'll delete the play sound when he kicks it out. That one doesn't make a sound. This one doesn't make a sound when it goes in or out. Wait. Boom. Boom. And boom. All right, so all of these now will still function without making any noise. Nope. Oh, there you go. See, it's doing it already. No noise. You just hear the ball rolling in between, but that's it. So this is enough for script wise. I don't want to go too far into the script with you guys. Next thing I want to show you about these kickers is that you can change how they look visually by the display says whole, right? Most of the time you want to make him invisible. And the reason I say invisible is because if you were to say Gottlieb, so I'm going to go ahead and put all three of these as a Gottlieb hole. And the material, I'm going to go put it plastic. So now look, they look like this now, right? The problem is if I have a wall right next to them, it's not on it. See, I have space here. Control C, Control V, put another wall here, another wall here. And let's say I have one on the bottom here, preventing you from seeing that hole. Look what happens. You see through the wall. It's effectively impossible to hide those holes. You'll see through everything. You'll see these holes, which is not ideal. All right. So what I like to do is to set them to invisible. Invisible. So now, if you go here, press play, you don't know where they are. But that's okay, because then later on in a future tutorial, I'll show you how to put a 3D model where you want it there. So it won't do that seeing it through things glitch that you're seeing here. So I'll show you how to make them look really nice any way you want in a future tutorial. But for now, leave them invisible. What else you could do is use these scoops that I have on the right hand side. I have two different styles of scoops. Don't know if you noticed them. I'll just go, wait, let's delete these walls. Boom, 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 boom. I'll take this first scoop over here, unlock it, Control C, Control V. I'm going to bring it here where that kicker is. This is a 3D model that is non-collidable. If I click on the physics tab, it's non-collidable. So I'm going to go again, Control V. So these are non-collidable. I'll use the other one. I'll use this one over here. Unlock. Control C. Control V. So you're going to put them over here. Oh, wait. This one's a little more heavy of a 3D model. So it's janky when you move it. It's a little more difficult, but it's higher resolution. That's why. The bigger your 3D model is, the slower it is to move it in the editor. So once you have it where you want it, let's just look at that for now. So you get your scoops right there. Now I'll show you later on with the artwork how to make them disappear completely, but boom, now you know that you're shooting in there. There you go. You got scoops for your kickers. You're all set. And these 3D models, if you go to the position, you can rotate them. Not the first number here. This first number always has to stay 90, but you want to turn, let's say this one 90 degrees. Boom. Then it's sideways. I'll turn this one, the one's at 180 right now. I'll go at 0. So it turned around that way. Okay, boom. So see, I turned them. There you go. So these are all things you can do. Pretty simple. Other things I want you to teach you for this video is the pop bumpers. I'm going to go ahead for the sake of this video though is delete all of these and show you that I left you 3 pop bumpers on the right hand side they're already coded. They're gonna make the popping noise, and they're gonna flash a light. The light is green, so there's two elements. There's the light and there's the pop bumper. So pop bumper 1 has B light 1. You unlock it to move it where the pop bumper is. And now that pop bumper is ready to go. Boom. See? Lights up a light. Now, if you want to make this pop bumper change how it looks, you want to click to the visual tabs and you have to select a material for all the 4 different parts. There's the mushroom top, which is the cat material. I usually go into the domes, click something like, I don't know, green right there, dome flasher green. Base material is the trunk, the post in the center, go metal. The skirt is what's on the floor of the playfield. It's the base of it. So it looks like a skirt. So I'm gonna put this one in a different metal. I'll put it metal red so you can see. And then the ring is the 2 posts on both sides that holds the ring that goes up and down, which is effectively kicking the ball. So I'm gonna put that as rubber, yellow rubber. Let's go rubber yellow right here. It's just so you can distinguish all of the parts. So as you can see right now, there's a red ring on the floor. The ring is, the cap is red, and the ring going up and down is yellow, and the center is metallic. And that's how you would do that for a pop bumper. But let's say you wanted a different color light, so you'd want to match with a different cap. So let's go dome flasher red. Actually, I like using peg. It's called peg. Peg's a really nice red. I'll show you what it looks like. See, it's like translucent, right? So if you use that, and usually what I do for most of my, I'll have the cap peg and the rest all metal. Just go metal, skirt, everything metal. And then for the light, this is where you can change the light. On the right hand side, there's the center burst and the color of the light. The center is always going to be a little bit lighter or a little bit darker depending on how you want your burst to be. You want that where the light bulb is to be more intense of a color, or lighter because it's you got to mess around with it anyway. So you click on the color, and over here you could select your color manually anywhere you want in this rainbow. And on the right hand side, you can make it darker or brighter, just like this. So let's say I want to be red, and I want a dark red. Boom. That's my center burst, and I'm going to make it lighter red on the outside. So like a pink. There we go. So now, once I hit that pop bumper, boom, it lights up like that. I think the light is slightly too high, maybe? I'm not sure. Let's see. Halo height 94. Let's put that at, I think it should be 90, I think. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh. Ball control. Yeah, that's pretty good. You could go lower even, I think. Let's try 80. If it's too low, you can't see the light. So that's one thing you got to keep in mind. There we go. That's 80, so you can still see it. It's starting to hide very well. So if I go too low, if I go 70, you won't be able to see the light anymore. Watch. So you can leave it as it was, actually. It was fine the way it was. You can barely see that light. So it depends on if you want that cap to look like it's lighting up or not. So I'm gonna actually put that at 85, I think was the best one. So that's what you can do, up to 3 pop bumpers already coded in. If you wanted to add a 4th pop bumper, all you have to do is click on one of these pop bumpers, highlight the name, which is bumper 001, Control C, hit your script again, but it's not going to be at the bottom of the script. So you have to go to edit and then click the button that says find. And in this search bar, you're going to control V and then click Find Next. And this is where your pop bumper is. It says bumpers. So bumper 1, it's these 4 lines. Bumper 2 and bumper 3. And this all here is for all the bumpers to work. So these, you never change these lines here. Okay? So between these green sections, between targets and bumpers, you don't remove these lines. But if you want to add a pop bumper, you can go ahead and go Control C, this section, go where to end sub, press enter, Control V, and just change that number to 4. So where it says bumper 003, you're going to make it bumper 004 everywhere. And where it says B light 003, you go B light 004. That's it. Now we got a 4th pop bumper if we wanted to. So all I have to do, close the script, highlight these, Control C, Control V, and now these should all work. I'm going to go ahead, move these all in. I got to unlock them. There we go. So these should all now work. Very simple. It's just copy pasting these little parts of the scripts, and you get spinners as many as you want, pop bumpers as many as you want. See, they all work now. In a later video, I'll show you how to make these pop bumpers look fantastic. Okay. Right now, I just want you to know how they function and how to add them in. So, if you wanted to manually add a light to a pop bumper, so going to go bumper 04, delete it, and B light 004, delete it. If you want to manually do it, there's a button for pop bumpers right here, insert bumper. Click on that button. It's the 3rd button from the 2nd row. Click on the table. It automatically goes bumper 004. So there you go, you have it there. And if you want to add a light, you click where it says insert light and hit it there. And now you have to size it so it looks like the other ones. So you can right click, go to scale. We want it to be about twice that size of 2. Press OK. Boom. That's a little too big. So we're going to go again. Scale 0.9. Enter. Still too big. Scale 0.9. Enter. There we go. We got it the right size. And now you have to match the light. Like all of this intensity, you got to change that. Fade up, fade down. All of these have to match what the other ones say. 40, 40, 160, 103. So 40, 40, 160, 103. So make sure. Boom, boom, yeah. Center burst, going to change the color to, I don't know, white. That one. There we go. Halo. So this has to be halo. It's on type classic, so put that halo. Halo height 85. Modulate 1. Halo height 85. Modulate 1. This is 0. 0, 0. So everything is the same. You scroll down, so now it is static mesh. Everything else is the same, so we're good. There we go. I did it the long way without copy pasting, so, and it should work. Let's see. Oh, B light. Oh, I forgot. That's right. When you add a light, it doesn't call it B light. It just calls it light, right? It calls this one light 001. So you've got to make sure that it's either going to be B light 004. So you're just going to add a B in front, a big B, and then change the 1 to a 4. Now the error in the script is going to go away. Light is not lighting, so what did I do wrong here? What's different? 40 linear. Light 004. Oh, Z94. Okay, Z94. That's also your height. I'm thinking that has to be it. Yeah, there it is. So the Z is the height as well. So this should be 84. 85, actually. Try again. Huh. I think it was better off like that. At 90. Was it 94? Where are these ones set to? 92? 94. Yeah, I'm going to set these back to 94 as it was by default. 94. And this is 94. So anyways, have fun with that. So you got your pop bumpers, drop targets, spinners, whatever you need. I showed you how to do walls. So you can create walls, drop targets, and other elements I can show you real quick is this one, insert rubber. Click on this button, and then you can click on the playfield. It's going to create a round rubber. So when you click this round rubber on the right hand side, it's going to show you the thickness of the rubber. So if you want it to be really thick, you make that number bigger. Boom. So now it's a really thick rubber. The height is off the playfield. So if you want it to be flat on the playfield, the 25 is right dead center to the ball. So it's pretty much where the ball is going to collide with it. You can actually rotate it as well if you needed to. Like if I wanted to rotate, I think is it Rode Z 90? Let's see if I can make it on its side here. No, so it's not the Z. It will be X or Y. So if I were to turn this, watch. Now it's up on its side. So that's convenient, especially if you're going to make ramps. Let's go to thickness 8, like a wire. Go metal. And we turn this one 45 degrees. This one 45 degrees. So you can see there's a metal ring. There you go. So now you got a metal ring. So if you have one of those wire ramps that needs rings around it, that's a great way of making a ring. Oh, my table just crashed. Didn't make any saves. Should have been saving. So that's a lesson I taught you on the first one, is always be saving. Anyways, the rubber, when you click on here, you could scale it by right click, scale. Let's say if you want to make it small, go 0.5, boom, small, same thickness, but small. If you want to change the shape, just like a wall or a ramp, they have red dots, move the red dots. And these, just like ramp, they're always going to be round or smooth in between. So if you right click and remove the smooth, it's going to create sharp edges in between. And let's say we were to put this material, red rubber. There we go. There's our red rubber. That's as simple as that. So you can add rubbers wherever you want. Another great trick is when you look at your table here and you see these star looking, cogwheel looking things. If you unlock one, Control C, lock it again, Control V. These are posts. These are pretty nice posts as well. And let's say we add a rubber to that post. I'm going to delete this. I'm going to create a new rubber. Boom. I'm going to put it rubber white. I'm just going to put it white. So rubber white. And I'm going to scale it 0.3. Yeah, 0.3 is pretty good. Now look at this. That's like a professional post with a rubber on it. You're all set to go now. You can have those plastic posts where you want the, you know, when a ball comes in to a play field and it bounces between posts to light a light, and then it falls into the pop bumpers. These are the type of posts you'd be using. But you could use 2 of those posts, Control C, Control V, 2 of those, one on top of the other like that. And then you take this elastic, grab 3 of these dots, bring it down all the way to here, add 2 more dots by right clicking, add point, add point. I'm sorry, I'm making this video long, and it shouldn't be long. It's condensed. There's so much. Okay. I'm just gonna move this out of the way for a second. Right click, remove the smooth, remove the smooth. So it's straight. There we go. So now these are straight as can be. There. Perfect. So now you got that. You go Control C, Control V. Now you get a whole section of that. Just make sure they're the size of a ball. You can use a ramp and have the top width 60, bottom 60. So as long as it's that width, you're fine. So you can move this section here over here. Control, then move this on this side. Control V. Add another section. Control V. Add another section over here. Oh, wait. You see where I'm going with this, right? Okay, delete the ramp. You don't need the ramp. Pick all of these 4 up here. Oh. Highlight everything. Hold shift and press the arrows there. A lot easier. Bring these to the top. And now we've got that section I was talking about. So when you launch the ball, it goes boom, boom, and then it selects a lane, right? That was a bad example. Should have moved it higher. That. Boom. Now you can, oh, look, I nudged it. There you go. So it's going in between those lanes. So those are how you do that. As well, you got these posts over here. If you remove the GI lighting layer and the lights layer, you can see them pretty well. It's this one here. It already has a rubber and a 3D model. So you right click, unlock it, Control C, lock it again, Control V. These are little pins with rubbers around them, and those come in handy as well when you don't need it as big of a post. Oh. I'm trying to just move it. There. So you can see what it looks like. There you go, pin with a rubber. Now those are a lot of things I showed you today. I'm still not done. Okay. One more type of post that you can add. I already have over here is a 3D model. Unlock it. It's called Primitive 029. Just, we're going to make a copy of it. Control C, Control V. Bring that in. And look at this post. These are the black sleeved posts. Usually you put that on both ends of a ramp. But like if you have a ramp, let's say, you know what? I'm going to close this, actually. Close this. I'm going to open my ramp tutorial video. I'm going to put every layer on for a second. So I can see that post. Unlock it. Control C. Lock it. Control V. bring it in, and now I'm going to put it on both sides of the entrance of the ramp. Control C, Control V. Here, Control V. This is not necessary. Some people like to put, you know what, I'll do posts on one side and targets on the other. And this is how you do it. You go targets, and you want, usually they use slims, they're called. Hit target slim, boom. And then we got to rotate them about 20 degrees, 22 maybe, 20, 25. 25 is good. All right. So you get one target here, and material is plastic, and the image is target 1. Control C, Control V. Now look at the bottom of both of these ramps, 2 different options. So you got the posts on the left hand side and targets on the other. So you can still make those ramps, or when you miss and you hit the sides of the ramps, you're either hitting a target or a post, depending on what your intention is. You see a little bit of, I find you see the left-hand side with the post more often than the right-hand side, but there's no wrong ways of creating a table. See, I just hit a post, hit targets there. It narrows the entrance of the ramp a little, so you got to keep that in mind on your placement and whatnot. It's still very doable. And that's it, guys. Hey, we've come a long way already. So walls, spinners, targets, all kinds of targets, and the textures for them, pop bumpers, spinners, and how to code those. It's been a very long video, I think. I need to cut it short here now, I guess. Guys, let me know what you think. Did I go over too much in this video? I think it was about time. You guys were picking it up. Some of you were not so much, but some of you are picking it up really fast, and I feel like I had to speed this up a little bit. And for those of you who are struggling, take your time, pause the video, rewind it, take the information as necessary, take what you need, take a break, practice it, then watch a little bit more. So we also know how to add new flippers. That was on another video. So you can add multiple flippers, orbits now, walls, plastics. I showed you pop bumpers. We are golden. I think that's it for this video, guys. I'll catch you on the next one. Keep on pinning.